Hello, welcome to Learning Every Day with me, Lisa Aaron. This channel will benefit teachers, homeschoolers, and students of all ages. I'm here to help you learn. I have broken down the basic coursework. I encourage all learners to take the challenge to learn with me. Begin by taking your time, and if you need to review anything, simply go back and watch the lesson again. You will be given ample instruction for success. Join our learning circle and subscribe. Hello, this lesson is about adding detail to your writing. Detail is so important to make your writing interesting and keep the reader engaged. Adding details. To allow a reader to do more than just see words on a page, descriptive details cause the reader to feel, to hear, to taste, to become connected with the experiences in the writing. Adding details to your writing. If you told someone that you saw a man with a box, that person would imagine something like this picture from the information given. You see just a stick figure with a blue box, not very detailed, tells you nothing about the person and nothing about the box. But if you use descriptive words, the person would imagine this. A bald man with a large red nose, large eyes, and long eyelashes. Small red hat, a single tooth grin on his face while wearing a yellow and purple clown outfit, carrying a Jack-in-the-Box. See the detail in the picture? This is adding detail. Rather than just a stick figure with a box, we can envision the picture. When talking about something like the term boat, it's just not enough detail. You need descriptive terms and not just general terms. A sailboat? A rowboat, a canoe, a speedboat, a steamboat. These are examples of details of a type of boat. You need to describe the type of boat so the reader can see the details. Each boat is different than the other. The sailboat has blue and yellow sails. That's what makes it distinctively a sailboat. A rowboat has oars that help you row the boat. A canoe. Look at the shape of the canoe. It's usually made out of bark. It's long and curved up. A speedboat has a fast motor on it, so it glides through the water easily. And a steamboat is another type of boat where you would see lots of steam coming out of it because it needs hydroelectric or coal to keep the motor going. These are different types of boats. You need to add details. When talking about something like the term car, it's just not enough detail. You need descriptive terms and not just general terms. This is a Willys Jeep. It's a type of Jeep. Here we have a Pontiac Firebird. Here we have a 1930 Buick Series Coupe. And here we have a Chevrolet sedan. Details on the names of these types of cars. Knowing these type of cars, we can also know about the time period, because some of these cars are made at certain times, while other times they're not in production. Be specific with information. He hurt his finger. Wrong. He hurt his index finger. I'm describing exactly which finger he hurt. He hurt his finger while hammering into a block of wood. Be specific with information. He hurt his arm. That's very basic. Doesn't say too much. We can use more information to give details. He broke his arm in 2 places. He broke his arm in 2 places while skateboarding over a curb. That is very specific on how it happened and what happened to him. Be specific with information. He hurt his toe. That's not enough information. That's not being very specific. He hurt his big toe. We can elaborate even further by saying, he stubbed his big toe while jogging. It tells how he hurt his toe and in what manner. He stubbed his big toe while jogging during the early morning run before work. Do you see all the detail? You know exactly what happened. Be specific with information. Add detail. Michael drove a boat. Too bland, too simple. It was a blue boat. It is a Carolina skiff boat. It is a center console boat. It is 23 feet. It drafts 7 inches. See how I wrote down all the little details that I can think about what that Carolina skiff boat can do and what it is? Now I can create my sentence. Michael drove in a 23 feet blue Carolina skiff with a center console, which drafts 7 inches of water, so he was able to glide up on the shore to get out with help. Be specific with information. Add detail. My favorite game. Not enough information. You don't know what game. You don't know who he is. You know nothing. I like to watch my favorite game on Mondays. I like to watch my favorite game on television. Are we getting clues to what this game is? My favorite game is football. My favorite team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. My favorite player is quarterback Tom Brady. Here's the sentence. When I put all my thoughts together about my favorite game, I can make a real detailed sentence. And here it is. I like to watch Monday Night Football on television with the greatest quarterback, Tom Brady. Be specific with information. Add detail. I like this house. We don't know anything about the house and what they like about it, but we're going to add our details and discuss what we like. I like this house on Mulberry Street. It's saying where the house is. I like this Victorian home. It's the type of home. I like the bay windows. Further added detail. I like the large front porch. I like the steep gable roof. These are all details of a Victorian home, so you can picture what the home is like, and you can picture where it is on Mulberry Street. I like this Victorian house located on Mulberry Street that has a large front porch, bay windows, steep gable roof, and many other ornate features. Be specific with information. Add detail. I bought a new car. Well, if you're going to get excited about your new car, wouldn't you want to tell what type of car it is? What makes it special? The car is fast. The car is red. The car is a Mustang. The car is a convertible. The car drives 80 miles per hour. You can see every little idea determining what this car is. Now we needed to put it into a good sentence. So we're not repeating the car, the car, the car, the car, the car. So we need to write a great sentence. It would look like this. I bought a red Mustang convertible that drives as fast as 80 miles per hour. Tells everything about the car. You can see the added detail. You can picture the car as you read that sentence. Here we have a boy, and it's important to know that people are three-dimensional, meaning they are more than just one thing and act differently depending on situations. No two people are exactly the same. You have to add detail to characters. This boy is a friend, a brother, a chess player, a drummer, a son, a student, a soccer player, a dog owner. You see, the character is three-dimensional. It has many talents and meaning to other people. Learn to develop character through use of detail and descriptive terms. What career do they have? Actor, naval officer, football player, nurse, baby, student, grandmother. Learn to develop character through use of detail and descriptive terms. What are their physical attributes and details? What are their physical details? These are the attributes. Big and strong, handsome, competitive, pretty, young, beautiful, elderly. Do you see how I'm showing you three-dimensional characters? It's not only what they do, it's how they look, The details can include everyday gestures, habits, mannerisms, customs, clothing, walk, and lifestyle. The cowboy is poor. The sailor is a nail biter. The football player, nervous. The nurse, neat and orderly. The baby, a crier. The student, insecure. The elderly woman, solitary, meaning by herself. Learn to develop character through use of detail and descriptive terms. Who is this person? What career do they have? He is an actor. His name is Riding Roy. He is portraying a cowboy. His latest movie is Saddles and Trails. Now we can write our sentence about him, knowing his three-dimensional character. Here is a cowboy, actor Riding Roy, promoting his movie Saddles and Trails. Learn to develop character through use of detail and descriptive terms. Who is the person? What career do they have? He is Commander Reynolds. He graduated from the U.S. Navy Academy in Maryland. He is responsible for the technical operations of the USS George Washington. Commander Reynolds graduated top of his class from USNA in Maryland and is now responsible for the technical operations on the USS George Washington. Learn to develop character through use of detail and descriptive terms. Who is this person? What career do they have? Jack Fieldtrack. That's his name. He is a tight end. He is 6 feet 6 inches tall. He is 266 pounds. And our sentence would go like this, from what we know of him. Jack Fieldtrack was the first draft pick tight end, being 6 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 266 pounds. Learn to develop character through use of detail and descriptive terms. Who is this person? What career do they have? This is Nancy Nurse. She is a pediatric nurse. She takes care of 9 children. She is funny and tells jokes. Let's see our sentence about Nancy Nurse. Nancy Nurse is a careful pediatric nurse who is funny and tells jokes to all her 9 patients while they go through their tough procedures. Learn to develop character through use of detail and descriptive terms. Who is this person? What career do they have? Now you're thinking a baby. What career could a baby have? But we're talking about details. This is baby Charlotte. She was born premature. That means she was born early. She weighed 2 pounds 6 ounces. She cries frequently, almost non-stop. Here's our sentence about baby Charlotte. Baby Charlotte was born premature, weighing only 2 pounds 6 ounces, who can cry non-stop like a howler monkey that can be heard 3 miles away. That's a lot of detail, and there's a comparison to this baby being like a howling monkey. They're very loud and noisy. That's who baby Charlotte is like. Learn to develop character through use of detail and descriptive terms. Who is this person? What career do they have? She is Bella Beautiful Beauty Queen. She is slender, 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 100 pounds. She is a talented singer. She won the Miss America contest. Here is our sentence about Bella Beautiful. Bella Beautiful is slender, 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 100 pounds, who, because of her talent by singing like a nightingale, won the Miss America contest. Do you see all the detail and how better the sentence is and how you can define a person and understand them as a three-dimensional character? Learn to develop character through use of detail and descriptive terms. Who is this person? What career do they have? This is Granny Grace. She is a talented baker. She makes the best apple pie. She won the state fair contest. Here's our sentence about Granny Grace. Granny Grace makes the best apple pie that won the state fair baking contest. Descriptions and setting. Setting involves both time period, geographical location, and character's place or location. Descriptions and setting. What is the historical area? Does your setting symbolize anything? Love, death, decay, life? What is the weather? What is the landmark in the setting? Who lives in the area? How do people get around? Why do people like or dislike living there? If you answer these questions, you can really get a lot of information about the setting. Most places have a special landmark and location. When writing, good names need to be given to people or characters. Here's Farmer Brown. Here's Drumstick. Here's Harry Trotter. And here's Domino. You need to be clever. You need to make it interesting, maybe fun. Here's a character sketch. When was the character born? Where was the character born? What was the character's family like? How much education did she or he receive? What do others think of the character? What does the character do for a living? What are some of the important events in the character's life that made him or her who they are? Who does the character care about? What does the character want and why? When we answer these questions, we've just created a character sketch. Write an simile or metaphor to add a description to your writing. A simile is a phrase in which the word as or like is used to make a comparison. Earlier, baby Charlotte was compared to a howler monkey. That was a simile, as long as the words as or like were used. A metaphor compares one thing to another by speaking of one thing as though it were something else. Personification. We use personification when we describe a lifeless object as a living thing. Have you ever watched The Wizard of Oz, the movie? The apple trees were talking. When you see that the trees in The Wizard of Oz had feelings and emotions and they were throwing the apples, it's a good example of personification. They had human traits. The trees had human traits. The trees moaned and complained as the wind whirled through the branches. That's an example of personification. Because do trees really moan? People do, but because we added people characteristics, it became personification. Descriptive verbs can suggest condition and character. The car coughed and choked its way to the top of the hill. Yes, that's still personification. You can hear the verbs. It coughed and it choked as it made its way up the hill. Verbs express action. The boy kicked. The boy biked. The girl danced. The girl cheered. And the boy wrote. Those are all verbs showing some type of action. Verbs can show a description of action. The boy waded in the water. The boy struggled in the water. The boy sat in the water. The words in red are all verbs that show action. Descriptive verbs can give the reader more information. He went across the street. Not very descriptive. He raced across the street. Tells you so much more. He did it in a faster fashion. He shot across the street. He darted across the street. A good place to find words for meaning is the thesaurus. You can look up the word went, and it'll give you other words such as raced, shot, and darted to use in place of the word went. Descriptive verbs can suggest mood. The morning sun smiled on the May flowers. Do you feel the mood? The morning sun smiled on the May flowers. You know it's in the morning. You know it's happy because it's smiling. And you know it's springtime because it's May. Gives you a nice feeling. Descriptive verbs can suggest mood. Mr. Moody slammed the cup on the table. You can see. He slammed it. He was in a bad mood. We want to avoid vague terms, vague words, such as a lot. When you say a lot, you don't really know how many. You don't have any kind of idea. Often. What does that mean? Once? 100 times? We don't know. Many. Many could be 3 or it could be 1,000. It's very vague. Other vague words are big, small, good, bad, early, often, hot, most, soon, poor. How poor? Move. In what way do you want to move? You say something. How do you say it? Were you happy? Were you sad? Were you excited? Were you like Mr. Moody? Here's the word laugh, drink, throw, hold, walk. Better words can describe all the words that are here. Weak words, descriptive word choice, move. You could say twist, riff, fidget, jog, wiggle, bend. These are examples of how to move. This is what a thesaurus would do for you. It would give you words for move, just like the ones next to the word move. Say, that's a weak word. We could use the word mutter when you don't say something clearly. You can mention something just briefly when you mention it. You can exclaim with excitement. You can tell. You can instruct, teach something. Or you can give orders. You can insist. It says a lot more than just say. Laugh, another weak word. How did they laugh? Giggle? Did they chuckle? Did they snicker? The word eat. Did they munch? Did they swallow? Did they nibble? Here's the word drink. How did they drink? Did they slurp? Did they sip? Did they gulp? Here's the word throw. These are all weak words. Throw. Did they toss? Did they hurl? Did they lob? Did they pass? Do you see the difference? That each of those words means something different. Toss means to lightly throw. Hurl means to throw faster at a distance. Lob means to almost hit somebody. And pass means to hand off to another person. Here's the word hold. How did they hold? Did they clutch? So hold something tightly? Did they hug? Did they grasp? Here's the word walk. Did they stagger? Did they sprint? Did they wander? Did they trudge? You have a lot of choices when using descriptive words, and it really gives the reader a lot of information in the type of word you choose. But these words have subtle, different meanings, and that's why when I tell you when you use a thesaurus, you have to be careful and understand the meaning of the word you're choosing. Here are examples of other weak words above. Said, exclaimed, stated, cried, demanded, ordered, whispered, shouted, mentioned, blurted, screamed, giggled, chuckled, laughed. A lot of ways to say said. When you looked at something, you gazed, you pierced, you searched, you stared, you glanced, you sighted, you regarded, attended, viewed, inspected, directed, or followed. Do you see all this difference in those words? But they're all doing the same thing, a type of looking. Here's the word ran. Trotted, skipped, hurried, moved, sped, operated, progressed, glided, flowed, pursued, galloped, fled. When you fled, it usually means somebody's chasing you. When you progressed, you moved forward. When you glided, you kind of slided as you moved. I mean, each word has a different meaning. Skipped, you can see the person bouncing as they move. Even trotted is a type of a bounce. Horses trot, but it's the way they do it. Skipped is a different kind of beat. When you see these words and you use them, the reader can envision a picture. Galloped, you think of a horse. Okay, let's look at the word nice. Are you friendly, helpful, gentle, warm, inspiring, good-natured, kind, generous, cheerful, loving, happy, cooperative? All these words are being nice, but in what way are they being nice? Each one has a slightly different meaning. It's very descriptive. and it's the kind of words you want to be thinking about when you're writing. Here's bad, bad, worse, poor, terrible, horrible, evil, wicked, corrupt, ill, unfortunate. What about the weak word big? I mean, we can decide how big: huge, giant, monstrous, large, immense, massive, bulky, stout, colossal. Here's the word sad: unhappy, sorrowful, gloomy, depressed, discouraged, downhearted. And the word happy: lively, jolly, glad, content, delighted, joyful, satisfied, flavored. How about the word little? We can say small, tiny, microscopic, minuscule, minute, inconsequential, thin, modest, slender, slight. How about being good? You can say instead excellent, fine, satisfactory, kind, generous, worthy, pure, benign, benevolent, proper. How about being kind? Are you kind by being generous, amiable, considerate, gentle, gracious, benevolent, kind-hearted? Rich. Are you wealthy, prosperous, affluent, loaded, well-to-do? Are you amazing, astonishing, astounding, awesome, fabulous, fantastic, incredible, stupendous, wonderful? Here's the word ask. Inquire, question. The word really, very weak word. A lot of people write with that word really. Absolutely, truly, honestly. The word make. Prepare, invent, assemble, construct, create. Hard. Not easy, problem, difficult, tough. No picnic, immerse. Strenuous, challenging. A lot. Oh, think of this one. Globs, many, plenty, tons, loads, multitude, abundance, great deal. It's good to give the reader, when you're saying a lot, like a number, it's good to give them an idea of what that number is. Show and tell. Telling explains the situation without evidence to back it up. Jane is sad. Showing explains the situation with evidence of support. Jane is so sad she hasn't eaten all day, and tears keep welling up in her eyes off and on throughout the entire day. Showing versus telling. Telling explains the situation without evidence to back it up. It's raining outside. It's important to show instead of just tell, because telling doesn't give the evidence, and showing explains the situation with evidence and support. The cold drops of rain hit my face like splashes from a squirt gun. The spray of water quenched my thirst. You have to show instead of just tell. Telling explains the situation without evidence to back it up. It is cold outside. That's telling. It is cold outside. But showing explains the situation with evidence and support. The blankets of snow chilled my bones that I shook so hard my teeth chattered together like castanets to music. Describing words with 5 senses. The eyes. It describes how things look. The size, the color, the shape, bright, dark, light, colorful, shiny, small, skinny, big, and so forth. Describe how things taste. Sweet, salty, bitter, sour, fresh, rotten, delicious, spicy, juicy, dry, flavorful, and so forth. Describe how it felt. The texture, the temperature, bumpy, smooth, hard, soft, heavy, light, thick, sticky, dry, moist, sweaty, and so forth. Describe how things sound. People talking, singing, background noises, quiet, squeaky, crackling, crunching, barking, laughing, screaming, and so forth. Use onomatopoeia. Look for my lesson on onomatopoeia. Describe how it smelled. Smoky, fruity, buttery, flowery, stinky, perfume, moist air, and so forth. Tips for writing a description. Think about the place you will describe. Picture it in your mind before you write. Tell what you can see in the place, what you can hear, what you can smell, taste, or touch. Write what makes this place different from other places. Tell why you like the place so much, or don't like the place. Paragraphs. Every paragraph needs a topic sentence. A topic sentence is usually the first sentence of the paragraph. It gives the reader an idea of what the paragraph is going to be about. Supporting sentences need to be about the idea presented in the topic sentence. In a paragraph, every sentence should be long, meaning we're sticking to the topic. Write about the many things that happened to this individual. Today we learned about adding details and not just simple, quick words to write. We want the reader to enjoy the experience you want to convey with interesting, thoughtful words. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and give it a thumbs up and share it with friends.